if we do that scale-wise progression, let's say we're in the key of C, and do that scale-wise progression going up to the 2 chord, and then just hit the 5 chord and come back, that becomes a little circular thing that you do over and over again. Then you've got a real typical jazz turnaround that happens at the end of a lot of 8-bar or 16-bar phrases. You've also got the introduction to every Mills Brothers tune that there ever was that goes like that. So since it's a standard turnaround, you better know how to do it with the 6-string root as well. In that case, in the key of G, it would be like G to G sharp diminished to A minor to D9, let's say. Now that little turnaround very closely resembles our next big topic, which is 6-2-5-1s. We did 2-5-1s, now we're doing 6-2-5-1s. All of this relates, all those numbers games relate to the circle of fifths, which is written down in your book, and it is so important to this kind of music that I always tell people that they should either get it tattooed on their wrist, but then you couldn't be buried in a Jewish cemetery, so that's no good, or the back of your, get it inlaid on the back of your guitar. Anyway, you have to commit the circle of fifths to memory, and at some point. But right now, what I need you to look at is that these 2-5-1s and 6-2-5-1 progressions go around the circle in a clockwise way. For instance, if you're in the key of C and you jump to A, which is the 6th note in the C scale, you come back along the circle, A, D, G, C, like that. And if you're looking at the circle of fifths in your book, you'll see that that's just going clockwise along the circle. And if the 6 is minor and the 2 is minor, you'll get this. So 6 minor, 2 minor, 5, 1. The 5 is a 7th chord and the 1 is a major chord. Now, if you start from the 1 and go 1, 6, 2, 5, then you have a real standard progression. So even though it really goes 1, 6, 2, 5, most players will call it a 6, 2, 5, 1 progression, and that's got all kinds of names. It's called the I got rhythm changes for reasons that we'll find out in a few minutes. It's called, I've heard it called the dime store progression. I've heard just the standard changes, because there's so many tunes that do that you couldn't count them. We'll start with Heart and Soul, right? Da 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 da. Okay, there's Heart and Soul. It's also Blue Moon. It's that one. Da 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 da. It's also every 50s rock ballad if you play it like this. You can fill in the blanks for that one, and just zillions of standards that are based on that. Sometimes they start with that and take off and do other things. Let's do it in G. In G, you'd go from G to the E minor, to the A minor, to the D9. Now, let's slow down a minute and look at the roots of the chords in 6-2-5-1 progressions. The one we were just doing in G has this, goes 6, 2, 5, 1. If you're just looking at the roots, you do this kind of zigzag thing. And the reason for that is this is how you go up a fourth. That's what's happening in circle of fifths progressions. You're going away from the home base, the 1 chord, and then to somewhere else, and then you're going up a fourth and up another fourth and up another fourth until you get back home again to where you started from. For instance, if you're in G, you might go all the way to the B, the 3 chord, and go 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, like that. And it's that same zigzag thing. If you were in C, you would pretty much look the same way. Here's a 6, 2, 5, 1, looks like that. And a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 looks the same kind of zigzag thing. Now, this is a way that you can do circle of fifths progressions without even thinking about the names of the chords you're playing. It's just kind of an automatic thing. You keep going up a fourth until you get back home again. Now, a way to practice this is to alternate, like minor chord, major chord, minor chord, major chord. Like in G, you go B minor, E9, A minor, D9, and back to G, like that. In C, that would be That's E minor, A7th, D minor, G7th, and that takes you back to C. Well, we've skipped ahead to 3-6-2-5-1s, haven't we? But let's not do that. Let's go back to 6-2-5-1s for a minute and do I Got Rhythm, which is really based on them, on 6-2-5-1s. In its simplest form, I Got Rhythm would be something like this. In G, it would be from the G to the E minor to the A minor to the D9, and you do that over again, several times, like that, as in, I got rhythm, I got music, I got my love, who could ask for anything more? So what happened at the end? With ask for anything more, that was a 2-5-1 again, except the 2 was major instead of minor. It was an A7. And the 5, as usual, was a 7th chord, actually a 9th chord. So I've got 6-2-5-1s. There's a second one, and then a third one, and then 2-5-1. So the whole thing is circle of fifth stuff. Let's do it in C. So here you have, I got rhythm, I got music, I got my love, and then 2-5-1 is who could ask for anything more? So that's like D9 is the 2 chord, G7 is the 5 chord, back to 1. Now, like many of the old pop tunes from the 30s and 40s, I Got Rhythm has a bridge, and it's a very famous bridge, and musicians call it, strangely enough, the I Got Rhythm bridge, because it's used in zillions of other tunes. What you do is you go up to the 3 chord, and you come back along the circle of fifths, like this. Here, say we're in G, where we started this tune. So G, 2, 3, there's the 3 chord. So we're playing a B7th. It goes, oh man, trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him round my door. And that takes you back to G. So what did we do? We did 3. These are all 7th chords. We did 3, 6, 2, 5, and that just a 3-6-2-5-1 thing. Do 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 do. That takes you back to the 6-2-5-1 part of the tune, like that. Now, there have been players. There was a jazz guitarist and pianist named Slim Gaillard who made a career out of that progression. Every tune that he made up was based on that progression, and tons of standards imitate it. First one that comes to mind is Straighten Up and Fly Right, the Nat King Cole hit that was based on that. Anyway, zillions of tunes. We got to make sure we can do it starting with the C chord. The bridge, the I Got Rhythm bridge in C, you would jump to the 3, which in the key of C is E, right? So you go bum bum ba dum ba da da dum bum doodle dum dum ba da da. Then you're back to the 6-2-5-1 part. Bum 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 bum. Well, there's a little hook at the end of I Got Rhythm, by the way. That this is a Gershwin tune, and he couldn't do it totally straight. He had to throw a ringer in there somewhere. So the way it works is the last time around the tune, but it's an AABA tune, right? You do the circle of fifths thing. Well, you do one little statement, then you repeat it, then you got the bridge, then you do the opening statement again. That's what AABA means. So here at the last time around, you go, I got rhythm, I got music, I got my love, who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more? So you know what it did? When you were going da-da-da-da, it backed up on the circle again and went 2, 5, and instead of going back to 1, it goes 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So it did that again. It just, in the middle of coming back home, it backed up farther and then came back the usual way. It's really amazing how many times tunes you find yourself doing that thing of just going up a fourth and up another fourth and so on until you get home. In C, let's do that little ending part. Da 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 da, ba da da ba ba. I got my love, who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more? So that would be backing up to 3, 6, 2, 5, 1.